कुलसोम बाबूजी अल्लाह आपको सेहत दे।
Begum Kulsoom Nawaz passes away in London. Her brother-in-law Shehbaz Sharif and her son Hussein Nawaz confirmed former First Lady breathed her last at a clinic in London. Begum Kulsoom is survived by her husband and 4 children, Maryam, Asma, Hassan and Hussein. Begum Kulsoom was under treatment at London's Harley Street Clinic since June 2017. Politicians expressed grief over Begum Kulsoom Nawaz's demise. Prime Minister Imran Khan and President Arif Alvi expressed deep grief and sorrow over sad demise of Kulsoom Nawaz. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa sends his condolences to Sharif family. Pakistan People's Party Chairman Bilawal Bhutto and other leaders also expressed sadness over passing of 3-time First Lady. Chief Justice Saqib Nisar says those saying we are begging for damn funds should be ashamed. Chief Justice says only narrow-minded people have such thinking. Justice Saqib Nisar has established Dam Fund in July this year to raise money for construction of Damir Bhasha and Mohmand dams.
मोहम्मद अली जिना मोहम्मद अली जिना
70th death anniversary of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah observed with due reverence. Sindh Chief Minister Murad Ali Shah and Governor Imran Ismail visit mausoleum to pay respects to Jinnah. "25 people killed, many injured in a suicide blast on highway in Nangarhar. Victims of Afghanistan's suicide attack brought to hospital. Officials and elders say attack targeted gathering protesting against police commander. Ethiopia Eritrea reopened borders points for the first time in 20 years. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Eritrean President Azaz Cheema opened frontier. Russia mobilizes troops and military hardware ahead. Recently crowned India's Miss Diva Universe felicitated at her alma mater Chuddusama to represent India at 67th Miss Universe 2018 pageant in December. Veteran Bollywood actors attend book launch in Mumbai. Legends of Bollywood talks about struggles of many veteran Bollywood actors.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You're watching 92 News HD. My name is Mohammad Yasir Rizwan.
And my name is Faik Mahmood. Starting off with the top story today, Begum Kulsoom Nawaz, the wife of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, passed away here on Tuesday after battling cancer. Her brother-in-law, Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz President Shehbaz Sharif, and her son Hussein Nawaz confirmed that the former First Lady breathed her last at a clinic in London.
कुलसोम बाबूजी अल्लाह आपको सेहत दे।
Begum Kulsoom is survived by her husband and 4 children, Maryam, Asma, Hassan and Hussein. Begum Kulsoom was under treatment at London's Harley Street Clinic since June 2017. She was placed on life support last night as her health deteriorated. Sources at the clinic said she had developed a complication in her lungs. She had been responding well without the ventilator until last night, the sources said. Begum Kulsoom was diagnosed with lymphoma cancer in August 2017. Further, sources at the Adiala jail in Rawalpindi said former Premier Nawaz Sharif, his daughter Maryam Nawaz and son-in-law Captain Retired Safdar had been informed about Begum Kulsoom's passing. Her husband, daughter and son-in-law are currently serving a jail sentence in the Avonfield corruption case.
Political and social leaders across the country expressed grief over the sad demise of Begum Kulsoom Nawaz, the wife of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. The leaders also prayed for the departed soul and the bereaved family.
Prime Minister Imran Khan expressed his deep grief and sorrow over the sad demise of Kulsoom Nawaz. In a statement, he said, all facilities will be provided to the family and heirs of Kulsoom Nawaz as per the law. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa also sent his condolences to the family. Chief of Army Staff expressed his grief and heartfelt condolence to the bereaved family on the sad demise of Begum Kulsoom Nawaz. May Allah bless the departed soul, eternal peace at heaven. Ameen. Chief of Army Staff DG ISPR tweeted. Minister for Railway Sheikh Rashid also condoled the Sharif family over the sad demise of Kulsoom Nawaz.
ये खबर जो है इससे बड़ा दुख हुआ है। अल्लाह ताला उनके खानदान को सब्र दे और उनको दुआरे रहने। उन्होंने अपनी जिंदगी जो है उसमें जिद्दोजहद का जो वक्त है तो उसमें भरपूर हिस्सा लिया। मैं समझता हूँ कि उन्होंने अपनी सियासी किरदार भी बेहतर तरीके से अपनी सियासी जिम्मेदारियां भी निभाई।
Jamaat Islami Chief Sirajul Haq paid tribute to the deceased and prayed for her high ranks.
लेकिन अपने रख रखाव में एटीट्यूड में वो बिल्कुल एक घरेलू खातून है और एक शरीफ और उससे उसकी जुबान से कभी भी सख्त बात हमने नहीं सुनी। सियासत में अपने मुखालिफिन के लिए भी वो हमेशा नरम रवैया रखती थी और एक बावकार खातून थी। वो अब दुनिया से चली गई है। अब उनके लिए दुआई की जा सकती है।
Former Senate Chairman Raza Rabbani said he considered it a great loss for Sharif family. Rabbani also prayed for the departed soul. Former Sindh Governor and Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader Muhammad Zubair paid tribute to Kulsoom Nawaz's services for democracy.
Begum Sahiba, obviously as a housewife, as a mother, उनकी बड़ी contribution थी मरियम के political career को बनाने में और मियां साहब की political career को सपोर्ट करने में। और जब वक्त आया था तो माशाल्लाह के खिलाफ वो खुद बाहर आई जद्दोजहद करने के लिए। सो आई थिंक शी वाज ग्रेट वुमन और अल्लाह करे उनको जो है रहमत में जगह दे।
Senator Mushahidullah said Kulsoom Nawaz had a great services for the sake of democracy, adding that she was a courageous and brave lady.
एक ऐसी औरत जो एक बहादुर औरत थी, एक मोहब्बत करने वाली बीवी थी, एक माँ थी, एक सियासतदान भी थी। जब वक्त पड़ा तो उसने जो किरदार पाकिस्तान की जमहूरियत के लिए अदा किया वो भी मैं चूंकि उस वक्त उनके साथ होता था तो वो यानी कि एक लाजवाल किरदार था उनका, वो भी उन्होंने अदा किया।
People from all fields of life express grief and condole the bereaved family.
Kulsoom Nawaz, the wife of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, was born in 1950. She was the granddaughter of champion wrestler Aziz Bakhsh, known locally as Gama.
कुलसोम बाबूजी, अल्लाह आपको सेहत दे।
When her husband was imprisoned following the 1999 coup by General Pervez Musharraf, she railed support for him after several Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leaders were arrested in pre-dawn raids. In June 2000, she was appointed the interim president of the party. She held the position for 2 years. Kulsoom received her early education at Lahore's Madrasatul Binnat and Lady Griffin schools. For an undergraduate degree, she attended the former Christian college. She would later complete a master's and a PhD at the Punjab University. In 1971, she was married to Nawaz Sharif. Nawaz Sharif entered politics in the 1980s. Later, he would the Pakistan Muslim League faction that came to be identified with his name and be elected Prime Minister. In June 2000, Kulsoom Nawaz was appointed interim president of the party. During her campaigning days, she was taken into custody and placed under house arrest. In June 2017, she was diagnosed with cancer. She was treated at the Harley Street Clinic in London. Last night, she was placed on life support after her condition deteriorated. Besides her husband, Kulsoom is survived by daughters Maryam and Asma and sons Hussein and Hassan.
Senator Azaz Cheema said on Tuesday that he was not saddened by former First Lady Kulsoom Nawaz passing away. He also said he was sorry to have caused hurt to her and her family with his words. "I unreservedly apologize for my words," he said. Here is what he said.
ताकि अफसोस हो रहा है, बिल्कुल तासुफ है और मैं समझता हूँ कि मुझे जो मेरे ज़बान से, मेरे अल्फाज से जो शरीफ खानदान की इस मामले में दिल आज़ारी हुई है, उससे मैं दिली तौर पे अफसोस का इजहार करता हूँ। मुझे इंतहाई अफसोस है इसका और मुझे जब कहा गया कि आप ये इसका इजहार करें पब्लिक में या डाला जेल जाके, तो डाला जेल जाके ना सही मुझे अब महसूस होता है कि कर लेना चाहिए था। इस बात का अफसोस रहेगा कि मोहतरमा कुलसूम नवाज शरीफ की जिंदगी में मैंने जो दिल आज़ारी उनके खानदान की या उनकी हुई मेरी जुबान से, वो इस वक्त मुझे अब दुख हो रहा है, उससे खुद अपने आप पे दुख हो रहा है।
National Accountability Bureau Chairman Justice Javed Iqbal, retired, said on Tuesday the Bureau will trace the corrupt wherever they might try to hide in the world.
The NAB chief said if somebody who used to ride a motorbike in Lahore was found to own real estate in Dubai, the Bureau had the right to question the sources of their wealth. He said the Bureau will bring back the money stolen from Pakistan. He said the Bureau was investigating some real estate developers. He warned that they would be unable to buy him off with a bribe. He also said no businessman operating lawfully was being harassed.
मैं सिर्फ कुर्सी के शौक में नैब पे नहीं बैठा। ये जो आखिरी इनिंग में खेल रहा हूँ, मैं चाहता हूँ कि ये यादगार इनिंग रहे।
The NAB chief said accountability cannot be effective if it discriminates between suspects.
गैर जानिबदारी और दयानत कोई कांच की गुड़िया नहीं है कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर से मिलूंगा तो उस पे बिखर जाएगी।
He mentioned that an inquiry was currently underway against a chief minister. He said corruption was to blame a lot. He said the corruption was to blame for a lot of the nation's problem.
6 new ministers were sworn in on Tuesday to join the federal cabinet. President Arif Alvi administered the oaths to the 3 federal ministers and 3 ministers of state at a ceremony at the presidency. Umar Ayub Khan, Ali Muhammad Meher and Sayyid Ali Haider Zaidi took oath as federal ministers. Muhammad Mia Sumro refused to take oath as a minister of state.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। सिद्ध से दिल से हलफ उठाता हूँ अल्लाह ताला मेरी मदद और रहनुमाई फरमाए, आमीन।
6 new ministers were sworn into the federal cabinet. President Arif Alvi administered the oath to new ministers at a ceremony at the President House. Umar Ayub Khan, Ali Muhammad Meher and Sayyid Ali Haider Zaidi took the oath as federal ministers. Muhammad Shabir Ali, Murad Said and Hamad Azhar were inducted as ministers of state. The portfolios of the new ministers will be announced later. The number of cabinet members has risen to 30. For his part, Muhammad Mia Somru refused to take oath as state minister and left for Karachi.
कि मैं अपने ज़ाती मुफाद को अपने सरकारी काम या अपने सरकारी फैसलों पर असरअंदाज नहीं होने दूंगा। अल्लाह ताला मेरी मदद और रहनुमाई फरमाए, आमीन।
Sources close to Somro said he considered the office beneath his dignity, having already served as a caretaker Prime Minister and Senate Chairman.
Justice Mia Saqib Nisar, the Chief Justice of Pakistan, said on Tuesday, describing his appeal to nations for the construction of the Amin Pasha and Mohammed dams as begging was unfair. He said those shamelessly opposing the initiative were an embarrassment.
The Chief Justice of Pakistan remarked during a court hearing that those criticizing the dam funds were narrow-minded people. Justice Nisar also said that those bent upon criticizing him were apparently pointing fingers at the dam funds out of frustration at not finding anything with which to reproach him. He said a campaign for self-sufficiency could not be called begging. The Chief Justice has set up the dam funds in July this year. Last week, Prime Minister Imran Khan has endorsed the appeal and asked overseas Pakistanis to contribute to it.
The Attorney General informed the Supreme Court on Tuesday that consultations were underway with the departments concerned on bringing back former Finance Minister Ishaq Dar. The court was also informed that Dar's properties in Britain and United Arab Emirates were being investigated. The Apex Court sought a progress report on the repatriation of former minister.
A three-member bench of Supreme Court headed by Chief Justice of Pakistan, Justice Mia Saqib Nisar, resumed the hearing a case pertaining to Dar's return to the country. As the hearing went underway, the Attorney General said Dar's diplomatic and other passport have been cancelled. When the Attorney General informed that Dar has no valid travel document, the Chief Justice questioned, then how will he come back? There is a system in place through which he can be brought back, the Attorney General responded. Further, during the hearing, the NAB Prosecutor General informed the court, "We have found details of several of Dar's properties in Britain and UAE and will submit their records together after inquiry." Informing the court that Dar's properties in Pakistan have been seized, NAB Prosecutor pleaded for a 2 to 3 days deadline for further development. Justice Nisar remarked that you must be aware that NAB has declared Dar absconder. Can the state still not bring him back? Attorney General replied that Dar can be brought back through Interpol as there is no extradition treaty between Pakistan and United Kingdom. Directing concerned departments to continue taking steps for Dar's return, the court adjourned the hearing of this case till next week.
A Sindh High Court bench has ordered the formation of a joint team to investigate the May 12 riots. The bench has also ordered reopened 65 cases related to the events that had been closed. The bench has requested the SHC Chief Justice to appoint a judge to monitor the trials of these cases.
The High Court has ordered that a joint investigation team be formed to look into May 12 riots of 2007. The bench, consisting of Justice Iqbal Kalhuru and Justice KK Agha, also ordered the formation of judicial tribunal for the purpose. The bench also sought a report from the Sindh government about the payment of compensation to those injured in the clashes and the families of those who lost their lives. The judge also ordered the reopening of 65 cases related to the incident that had been closed. Further, the bench requested the SHC Chief Justice to appoint a judge to monitor progress in these cases. Iqbal Kazmi, the petitioner, had asked the formation of a judicial commission. The request was endorsed by the federal government but opposed by the provincial government. The Council for Sindh government said investigation undertaken 11 years after the fact were unlikely to be very fruitful. More than 50 people were killed and over 100 injured. The attacks on protest rallies taken out by several political parties and lawyers trying to reach the Jinnah International Airport to receive then deposed Chief Justice Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry. Former President General Pervez Musharraf retired. The Muttahida Qawmi Movement founder and Wasim Akhtar, now Karachi Mayor, were named as respondents.
The 70th death anniversary of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah is being observed today. Special prayers were held at the Quaid-e-Azam Mausoleum in Karachi.
Governor Imran Ismail and Chief Minister Murad Ali Shah visited the mausoleum to pay their respect. Mayor Wasim Akhtar also visited the mausoleum. Speaking to the media, Akhtar said people must continue to work towards a great leader's vision. People from various walks of life visited the mausoleum and laid floral wreaths. Television channels and radio services aired special programs to pay homage to the great leader.
More news stories lined up right after a short break.
Stay with us.
Welcome back after the break. Britain's Finance Minister Philip Hammond said on Tuesday time was running out to secure a Brexit deal and confirmed that Bank of England Governor Mark Carney had agreed to stay to help the country through a turbulent period for its economy.
Philip Hammond said the government was devoting all its efforts to securing a deal on a new relationship with the European Union before Britain leaves the bloc in March next year, but admitted the clock was ticking.
I can now announce to the House that I have been discussing with the Governor his ability to be able to serve a little longer in post in order to ensure continuity through what could be quite a turbulent period for our economy in the early summer of 2019. And I can tell the House today that the Governor has agreed, despite various personal pressures to conclude his term in June, that he will continue until the end of January 2020 in order to help support continuity in our economy during this period.
Hammond also confirmed that Carney, who said last week he was prepared to stay in his job beyond next June, when his term was due to end, had agreed to remain until 2020.
The European Union's Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier told a forum in Slovenia on Monday that a divorce deal with Britain could be agreed in 6 to 8 weeks if negotiators are realistic in their demands.
For more on this, have a look at this report.
Barnier told the Bled Strategic Forum that he believes it's possible for an agreement to be reached before the beginning of November. Although Barnier was cautious and stressed that differences on the Irish border issue remain a serious sticking point. Sterling jumped to a 5-week high of $1.3052 on the report, up around 1% on the day and rose around 0.3% against the euro.
I think that if we are realistic, we are able to reach an agreement on the first stage of this negotiation, which is the Brexit treaty, within 6 or 8 weeks. UK has decided to leave in March next year, 30th of March. Mrs. May chose the decision, the date, sending the letter to launch the process of negotiation in March 17. The treaty is clear. We have 2 years to reach an agreement before they leave 2 years after in March 19. That means that taking into account the time necessary for the ratification process in the House of Commons on one side, the European Parliament and the Council on the other side, we must reach an agreement before the beginning of November. I think it's possible.
Barnier has regularly said that he wants a deal by November to ensure parliamentary ratification by March, when Britain must leave with or without a deal. He has routinely said that this timetable is a realistic one if negotiators find compromises. He stressed that he and the EU were determined to reach a deal, but said he was neither optimistic nor pessimistic.
The Muslim Council of Britain appealed to the Home Office on Tuesday not to allow Franklin Graham, an American missionary, to enter the United Kingdom. The council says Graham was out to enjoy religious sentiments of Muslims. Graham has been invited to a Christian festival to be held in Blackpool. A number of people in Britain earning £1 million annually has reached 19,000, British Revenue and Customs reported on Tuesday. According to the statistics released annually, the number of people making £1 million sterling in the country increased by 3,700 during the last year. Several additions to the list are foreigners. There are apprehensions that some of the rich people might leave UK due to following the Brexit. The data with regard to financial years 2015 and 2016 showed that a third of the people earning £1 million annually lived in London. More than 2,000 of them live in Kingston and Chelsea each, and over 1,000 in Westminster. A Public Health England report says people's priorities in Britain with respect to health are changing. According to the report, the average Briton live longer, contributing thereby to the increasing population in the United Kingdom. However, the average Briton is not healthier than in the past. A drop has been witnessed in the number of people smoking in Britain, but obesity, diabetes and mental health issues have increased. The report says the average male's life expectancy is 79 years and average female's 83 years. This is nearly thrice that in 1971. Given the longevity, the males spend an average of 16 years in sickness and females 19 years. The volunteers and staff of British charity active in Africa have been accused of unethical conduct towards children and of financial mismanagement. The organization gets millions of pounds in aid annually to look after the African children. 35 complaints of child abuse have been received against the organization since 2012. Children going to Africa as volunteers between 2012 and 2016 have reported that not only were the African children sexually assaulted, they were also made to stay in unsafe houses and travel with drunk drivers. Prime Minister Theresa May said on Tuesday she would soon announce her environment-friendly projects addressing a zero-emission vehicle summit in Birmingham. She hoped that the UK will be a leading environment-friendly car manufacturer in the world. May said the government will provide £106 million to fund production of environment-friendly cars so that Britain's roads could be cleared of cars powered by petrol and diesel by 2050. Speaking at the summit, she said she wanted to see cars and wagons powered by petrol and diesel off the roads by 2050. She said this would be instrumental in controlling environmental changes. A British baby who was born with her heart outside her body has been allowed to make visit to her parents' home after months in hospital, the BBC reported on Monday.
Vanellope Wickens was born in November 2017, with medics giving her less than a 10% chance of survival. However, after 9 months and 3 operations of the rare condition, she has now begun spending time at the home of her parents, Nomi Findlay and Dean Wickens, in Bulwell in central England, the BBC said.
It's been nine months, real, does it? 9 months down the line. Real. And she's finally sat in our front room.
They have had to recreate the hospital's critical care environment at their house, but are hoping she will be able to return home permanently.
We're one step closer to home. We're in Nottingham. She's down the road. We're up the road. We haven't got that worry, so if we get that phone call, I'm coming and I'm coming now.
Vanellope was due to be delivered on Christmas evening last year, but the condition ectopia cordis means she had to be born prematurely by cesarean section on November 22. Vanellope is believed to be the first baby born with the condition in Britain to have survived.
More news stories lined up right after a short break.
Stay with us. The Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin held talks in Vladivostok of Russia Tuesday and agreed to firmly promote bilateral ties and to safeguard world peace and stability.
Xi arrived in Vladivostok earlier Tuesday for the 4th Eastern Economic Forum at the invitation of Putin. The two leaders described the bilateral relations as having entered into an era of faster development at a higher level. They agreed that the two countries should remain firm in developing the bilateral relations. Well, no matter how the international situation changes, Xi said the two countries should deepen the cooperation in building the Belt and Road and the interconnection with the Eurasian Economic Union, expand the cooperation in energy, agriculture, science and technology, and innovation and finance, and push the major cooperation projects forward and strengthen the joint research and development in frontier science and technology, and make good use of the next 2 years, which mark the local exchange and cooperation, to mobilize the local enthusiasm of the two countries to broaden cooperation. The Chinese president said it is a good tradition of the two countries to support each other in holding large-scale activities. He stressed that as permanent members of the UN Security Council and major emerging market economies, both China and US should enhance communication in international and regional affairs and fight against unilateralism and trade protectionism. Putin welcomed President Xi to the forum, saying the close contact between the two demonstrate the high-level relations between the two countries. He pledged broader cooperation with China in investment, energy, aerospace, finance and e-commerce and people-to-people exchanges. The two leaders witnessed the signing of multiple agreements and held a joint press conference afterwards.
Russia has begun what it calls the largest war games in the post-Soviet era, taking place east of Lake Baikal in Siberia. The exercises are said to involve 300,000 troops, 36,000 tanks and military vehicles on 1,000 aircrafts and 80 naval vessels. Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement that the exercises will take place in two parts. The first part will involve mobilization of troops and military hardware over large distances on all of the ground, sea and air. The second part will be war games and is said to involve some of Russia's newly developed weaponry. China and Mongolia are set to take part in the exercises, each pledging several thousand troops.
The leaders of Ethiopia and Eritrea reopened crossing points on their shared border for the first time in 20 years, clearing the way for trade between the former foes after a stunning reconciliation.
Thousands of people from both countries watched one ceremony in Zalambisa, an Ethiopian border town that was reduced to rubble soon after hostilities between the neighbors broke out in 1998. Soldiers and civilians waving Ethiopian and Eritrean flags lined the roads as Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki opened the frontier in a ceremony broadcast live on Ethiopian TV. Since signing an agreement in Asmara, Eritrea on July 9 to restore ties, the Eritrean and Ethiopian leaders have moved swiftly to end 2 decades of hostility, which burned on after the 1998 to 2000 war between the two countries in which 80,000 people died.
A suicide bomber in Afghanistan killed at least 25 people at a gathering on Tuesday on the highway between the eastern city of Jalalabad and the main border crossing into Pakistan, officials said.
Scores were wounded in the attack. The final death toll was unclear and could rise, local health authorities said. Officials and elders said the attack in Nangarhar province targeted a gathering to protest against a police commander, adding that hundreds of people were present when the blast happened. The blast dispersed the crowd, but more people gathered after the explosion to continue the protest. Nangarhar, one of the main strongholds of Islamic State militant fighters since early 2015, has been one of the most volatile regions this year, with a string of suicide bombings and attacks on its capital Jalalabad. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack, although the Taliban issued a statement denying involvement.
At least 45 people were killed on Tuesday after a bus fell into a valley in the Jittal district in the southern state.
Superintendent Sharma added that the driver of the bus, reportedly carrying over 60 passengers, lost control of the vehicle.
So far it has been found that it has lost control and fallen into a valley. 45 so far have died and other injured persons have been shifted to hospitals, including private hospitals in treatment, and we are on the job. Rescue efforts are on. And
passengers who survived the accident in the Jagtil district were being treated for injuries. An investigation has been ordered. The bus was returning from the famous Hindu temple of Kondagetu and Jinia Sweme when it skipped off the road, local media reported. Television footage showed local residents carrying the injured up a hill after pulling them out from the mangled bus. Accidents on India's notorious roads claim the lives of more than 150,000 people each year. Most accidents are blamed on poor roads, badly maintained vehicles and reckless driving. Chief Minister of Telangana, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, has announced ex gratia compensation of $6,868 for family members of the deceased.
Miss Diva Universe 2018 Nehal Chudasama was facilitated by her alma mater in India's showbiz capital of Mumbai. 21-year-old Chudasama was crowned with the winner and the Aditi Hyundai being given the title of Miss Diva Supranational 2018 and Roshni Sharon of Miss Diva 2018 runner-up in the recently concluding beauty pageant in Mumbai. Chudasama will represent India at the 67th Miss Universe 2018 pageant in December. Veteran Bollywood actor came together and attended the launch of a book penned by the filmmaker Raj Grover in India's entertainment capital of Mumbai. The book, Legends of Bollywood, talks about the struggles of many veteran Bollywood actors before they became famous yesteryear. Stars like Dharmendra, Prem Chopra, Tabassum and filmmaker Mahesh Bhatt were present at the book launch.
New trailer has been released for Hollywood film The Amityville Murder. Horror film will hit the cinemas on October the 15th.
Butch is in trouble. You have to get out of here.
There's no way out.
I see the end coming. Terrible, beautiful end.
That's all from the news studio. For more details, you can surely visit our website 92NewsHDUK and keep watching 92 News.